Newsflash, powered by Reuters.
Hello and welcome to this edition of Newsflash Roundup from Perfectly Spoken. This is your opportunity to practice listening to natural, authentic English based on a summary of 5 top stories in the news.
In the news this week, Russia invades Ukraine. Passengers rescued from Greece ferry fire. Storm Eunice hit Britain. Rising sea levels on the US coast. And another reason to become a vegetarian? Let's begin. Russian forces invaded Ukraine by land, air and sea in the biggest attack by one state against another in Europe since World War II. Ukraine's president called on Ukrainians to defend the country on the streets and said arms would be given to anyone prepared to fight. Russia's President Putin framed the invasion as an act of defence to protect people, including Russian citizens, subjected to genocide in Ukraine, an accusation the West calls absurd propaganda. A ferry was engulfed in a blaze as it was sailing from Greece to the Italian port of Brindisi. A total of 239 passengers and 51 crew were on board when the fire broke out. Rescuers took most of them to the island of Corfu, where ambulances were waiting. There were no immediate reports of deaths or severe injuries. The cause was still being investigated, Greek authorities said. People in Britain and Ireland hunkered down as Storm Eunice toppled roofs and trees and buffeted planes coming into land at Heathrow. A gust of 122 miles per hour, recorded on the Isle of Wight, is provisionally the most powerful ever recorded in England. Storm Eunice knocked out power for more than 100,000. Ferries and trains were cancelled, while strong winds at some airports forced pilots to abandon landing planes. According to a new report, sea levels along US coastlines will likely rise between 10 and 12 inches by 2050. They are expected to rise as much in the next 30 years as they did in the past 100. This would increase the frequency of high tide flooding. This is due to the ocean's sustained response to the warming that has already occurred. The sea levels will rise even with climate change mitigation in the coming decades. Finally, a new study from Oxford University has found that vegetarians have a 14% lower risk of getting cancer compared to meat eaters. The report, based on data from nearly 500,000 people, also found that pescatarians had a 10% lower risk when compared to people who eat meat. However, the authors say their findings did not conclusively prove that meat eating increased the risk of cancer, and added that smoking and body fat could also help explain the differences they found in their research.
That's the end of this news roundup. Visit our website perfectlyspoken.com to create your account and access all our courses, including courses based on global news, together with transcripts and other learning activities. And please tune in next week for more of the latest news summaries and vocabulary practice.